My husband sent me away on a cruise. 2 weeks, all expenses paid, Caribbean islands, luxury ship, the trip of a lifetime. I thought it was a gift. A gesture of love after 35 years of marriage. A celebration of us. I was wrong. My name is Margaret. I'm 65 years old. 6 months ago, my husband gave me the most generous gift he'd ever given me, and while I was enjoying that gift, he destroyed our entire life. This isn't just a story about a betrayal. It's about a plan so calculated, so deliberate, that by the time I realized what was happening, it was already done. You know that feeling when something seems too good to be true, when someone is suddenly generous after years of being ordinary, when a gift feels more like a distraction than a gesture. I had that feeling, but I ignored it, or at least, I appeared to. Before I tell you what my husband did while I was on that cruise, I need to know where you're watching from. Drop your city in the comments below, hit that like button, and subscribe to this channel. We share stories like mine every single day. Real women, real experiences, real survival. Every subscription helps. Other women find these stories when they need them most. This is a story about a woman who thought she was going on vacation, who came home to find everything gone. Her house, her money, her husband, everything. When I met David in 1989, I was 29 years old. He was 32. We built a life together. 35 years, a daughter, a home, a future. And in 2 weeks, while I was on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, he erased all of it. I thought the cruise was a gift. It was actually a distraction, a way to get me out of the house while he executed a plan he'd been building for months. That the shocking truth didn't just hurt me, it destroyed me. Everything I thought I knew, everything I thought I had, gone. But this story doesn't end there, because what my husband didn't know, what no one knew, was that I'm not as easy to destroy as he thought. Trust me, you'll want to hear what happened when I came home from that cruise. I met David at a professional conference in Chicago in the fall of 1989. I was 29 years old, teaching English at a community college in Atlanta. He was 32, running his own marketing consulting firm. We were both attending a workshop on adult education, sat next to each other by chance, started talking during the break. "You're a teacher?" he asked. "Community college, English composition." I run workshops for corporate clients, communication skills, presentation training, that kind of thing. We talked for the entire lunch break, then exchanged business cards. He called me the next week. "I'm going to be in Atlanta next month. Any chance you'd like to have dinner?" I said yes. That dinner turned into a weekend. That weekend turned into monthly visits. By spring of 1990, David was flying to Atlanta twice a month. By summer, we were talking about marriage. "I could move my business anywhere," he said. "Atlanta's a good market. I could relocate, be with you." "You'd do that?" "For you, absolutely." He proposed in August. We got married in November of 1990. Small ceremony. My parents, his sister, close friends, nothing elaborate. We were both practical people. David moved to Atlanta, brought his consulting business with him, found office space, built up his client base. He was ambitious, driven, good at what he did. I kept teaching, loved my job, loved my students. The work felt meaningful. Those first few years were good, really good. We bought a small house in Decatur in 1992, 3 bedrooms, nice neighborhood, room to grow. Our daughter Jessica was born in 1993. I was 33, David was 36. We were thrilled. I took a semester off when Jessica was born, then went back to teaching part-time. My mother helped with childcare. We made it work. David's business kept growing. By the mid-90s, he was doing very well. Corporate training programs, leadership workshops. His client list was impressive. "We should upgrade," he said in 1998. "Get a bigger house, better neighborhood. We can afford it now." We moved to Brookhaven. 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage, good schools, the kind of house I'd never imagined owning. I went back to teaching full-time when Jessica started kindergarten. Loved being back in the classroom full-time. David supported it. "You're a great teacher," he'd say. "You should do what makes you happy." Jessica grew up in that house, had her birthday parties there, learned to ride a bike in the driveway, brought friends home from school. We were a normal family. Soccer games on Saturdays, family dinners every night, vacations to the beach every summer. David worked a lot, built his business into something significant. By 2005, he had 5 employees, an office suite, contracts with major corporations. Money was never tight. We lived comfortably. Not extravagant, but comfortable. Jessica went to private school. We took nice vacations, had everything we needed. The marriage was solid, not passionate like the early days, but steady, reliable. We knew each other, understood each other, built a life together. David traveled sometimes for work, conferences, client meetings, a few days here and there. I never questioned it. It was his job. Jessica graduated high school in 2011, went to UGA, studied business, smart kid, driven, like her father. When she left for college, the house felt empty. David and I were alone, for the first time in 18 years. What do we do now? I asked. Whatever we want. We're 55 and 58, still young. Jessica's launched. Time for us. We traveled more, took a trip to Italy, another to Ireland. Enjoyed having the freedom to be spontaneous. I loved teaching but started thinking about retirement, maybe in a few years. I told David. When I'm 60. Whatever you want. We're financially secure. You can retire whenever you're ready. Jessica graduated college in 2015, got a job in marketing, moved to Austin, started her own life. I retired from teaching in 2020 at 60, 30 years in education. I was ready to travel, volunteer, enjoy retirement. David was 63, still running his business. I'll probably work another 5 years, he said. Then we'll both be fully retired, travel the world. Those first few years of my retirement were good. I had time to read, garden, see friends. David still traveled for work but not as much. We celebrated our 30th anniversary in 2020. Quiet dinner at our favorite restaurant. Talked about the life we'd built. 30 years, David said, raising his glass. Not bad at all. I thought we were solid. Thought we'd grow old together. Thought the next 30 years would be as stable as the first 30. I was wrong. The changes started small. So small I almost didn't notice. Or I noticed but didn't think anything of it. David started going to the gym more. Getting older. Need to stay healthy. Made sense. He was in his mid-60s. Health becomes important. He started dressing differently. More stylish. Younger clothes. Updating my wardrobe. The old stuff was dated. Also made sense. Why not look good? He was on his phone more. Texting. Stepping out of the room to take calls. Clients. Work stuff. Normal. He ran a business. But looking back now, I see it. The signs. The pattern. The preparation. At the time, I told myself I was being paranoid. We'd been married 33 years. David wasn't the type to cheat, to lie, to plan something terrible. Except he was. In early 2024, David started talking about me taking a trip. You've been retired for 4 years. You should travel. Do something for yourself. We travel together. I mean alone. A girl's trip. Or a cruise. Something just for you. Why would I want to go without you? Because you deserve it. 30 years of teaching. 4 years of retirement spent mostly at home. You should have an adventure. It seemed thoughtful. Sweet. A husband encouraging his wife to have experiences. I didn't see it for what it was. A husband laying groundwork. Planting seeds. Building toward something. Over the next year, he kept bringing it up. Have you thought about that cruise? I saw a great deal. 2 weeks in the Caribbean. All inclusive. That's expensive. We can afford it. I want you to go. Please, let me do this for you. Finally, in December of 2024, I agreed. Okay, if you really want me to go, I'll go. I really do. You deserve it. He booked the cruise for January 2025. 2 weeks leaving from Miami, stopping at 6 different islands. Luxury ship, balcony cabin, everything first class. This is too much, I said when I saw the itinerary. Nothing's too much for you. I want you to have the time of your life. I should have questioned it. Should have asked why he was so insistent. Why he wanted me gone for 2 weeks. Why now, after 35 years, he was suddenly so generous with a solo trip. But I didn't question it. I accepted it at face value. A loving husband giving his wife a gift. I packed for the cruise in early January. David helped, was unusually attentive, made sure I had everything I needed. You're going to have an amazing time, he said the morning I left for the airport. I'll miss you too, but you'll be back before you know it. 2 weeks will fly by. He drove me to the airport, kissed me goodbye, waved as I went through security. I turned back one more time, saw him standing there, smiling, waving. I didn't know it would be the last time I'd see him in our home, the last time I'd see him as my husband, the last normal moment before everything fell apart. I boarded that cruise thinking I was going on vacation. I had no idea. I was giving my husband exactly what he needed. 2 weeks, unsupervised, unwatched, free to execute a plan he'd been building for months. The cruise was beautiful. The ship was incredible. The islands were gorgeous. And while I was enjoying all of it, my husband was destroying our entire life. Looking back now, the signs were everywhere. But when you've been married to someone for 33 years, you don't see them, or you see them and explain them away. The changes started in 2021. David turned 64 that year, said he was feeling old, wanted to make changes. I'm joining a gym, getting serious about health. That's great. He started going 3 times a week, then 4, then 5, coming home energized. Different. You should come with me, he'd say. I walk, that's enough for me. Suit yourself. He lost weight, got in better shape, started buying nicer clothes, younger styles. You look good, I told him. Thanks, trying to take care of myself. Nothing wrong with that. Plenty of men his age get health conscious. I was happy for him. Then came the phone thing. David had always been casual about his phone, left it on the counter, didn't care if I picked it up, no secrets. But in 2022, that changed. He started taking it everywhere, to the bathroom, to the garage, to bed. When it buzzed, he'd check it immediately, step out of the room to respond. Everything okay? I'd ask, just work. Client issue. At 9 p.m. Different time zones. Made sense. His clients were all over the country. But the pattern continued. Constant texting, constant calls, always stepping away, always private. I told myself I was being paranoid. David ran a business. Of course he was on his phone. Except it felt different, secretive. Hidden. One night in late 2022, I asked directly, who are you texting so much? A potential client, big contract, lots of back and forth. What company? Tech startup in Austin, still in negotiations. Don't want to jinx it by talking about it. I accepted that answer. Why wouldn't I? David had never lied to me before, or if he had, I didn't know about it. The travel increased. He'd always traveled for work, but not like this. Suddenly, he was gone 2-3 days a week. Dallas this week, then San Francisco, then back to Dallas. That's a lot of travel. Building the business, trying to expand. You know how it is. I did know, or I thought I did. When he came home from trips, he'd be distracted, distant, not mean, just ... elsewhere. How was Dallas? Fine, productive. What did you do? Meetings, workshop, the usual. He never offered details anymore. I'd ask, he'd give short answers. Change the subject. Our conversations became surface level. Weather, what's for dinner? Did you see that thing on the news? Nothing deep, nothing real. I noticed but didn't fight it. We'd been married 33 years. Sometimes marriages go through quiet phases. That's normal. Or so I told myself. In 2023, David started mentioning a woman named Claire. Claire from the Austin office. She's handling the tech startup account. You have an Austin office? Just Claire. She's an independent contractor. Works with me on certain projects. Is she good? Very. Smart. Organized. Really knows her stuff. He talked about Claire more and more. Claire thinks we should approach it this way. Claire suggested this strategy. Claire found a great solution. I didn't think anything of it. David had worked with lots of people over the years, male, female, no big deal. But now, looking back, I see how often her name came up, how his face changed when he talked about her, the way he'd smile. He was talking about her the way he used to talk about me. 30 years ago, by mid-2023, the distance between us was obvious. We'd have dinner together, watch TV, go to bed. But we weren't really together. We were 2 people living in the same house. Are we okay? I asked one night. What do you mean, us? Are we okay? You seem distant. I'm just busy with work, stressed. It's not you. Maybe we should do something together. Take a trip, reconnect, soon. Once this project wraps up, then we'll have time. But the project never wrapped up. There was always another one, always another reason to be busy, distant, somewhere else. I thought about counseling, thought about pushing harder, demanding answers. But 35 years of marriage teaches you to pick your battles. And maybe I was afraid of what I'd find if I dug too deep. So I didn't dig. I accepted his explanations, believed his excuses, trusted him. That was my mistake. In the fall of 2023, David came home excited. I have an idea. For you. What kind of idea? A cruise? You've always wanted to go on a cruise. Have I? You mentioned it once, years ago. I think you should go. We should go together. I can't take that much time off right now. But you can. You're retired. You have the freedom. You should use it. I don't want to go alone. Why not? It could be good for you. Time to yourself. Adventure. You've earned it. The way he pushed it felt odd, but also thoughtful. A husband encouraging his wife to have experiences. Let me think about it. Over the next few months, he kept bringing it up, showed me cruise websites, sent me links, talked about how amazing it would be. 2 weeks in the Caribbean, all inclusive, luxury ship. You'd love it. It's expensive. We can afford it. Please, Margaret, let me do this for you. Finally, in December, I agreed. Okay, if it means that much to you, I'll go. His face lit up. Really, you'll go? Yes, book it. He booked it that day, January 2025. 2 weeks, leaving from Miami. I got you the best cabin, balcony, ocean view, everything first class. This is really generous, David. You deserve it. After everything you've done, all those years teaching, raising Jessica, supporting me, you deserve to be pampered. It sounded so sincere, so loving, a husband appreciating his wife. I didn't see it for what it was. A husband creating an alibi, an opportunity, a window. The weeks before the cruise, David was unusually helpful, helped me shop for the trip, bought me new clothes, made sure I had everything I needed. You're going to have the time of your life, he kept saying. I'm going to miss you. I'll miss you too, but 2 weeks will go by fast, and you'll come back with amazing stories. 2 weeks, that's all he needed. 14 days, I'd be gone, unreachable on a ship, and he'd have complete freedom. The morning I left, January 15th, 2025, David was sweet, attentive, made me breakfast, double-checked my luggage. You have everything. I think so. Passport, tickets, medications, all packed. He drove me to the airport, helped with my bags, walked me to the security line. Have an amazing time. You deserve this. I love you. I love you too. He kissed me, hugged me, waved as I went through security. I turned back, saw him standing there, thought about how lucky I was to have a husband who wanted me to have adventures. I had no idea what he was really thinking, what he was planning, what would happen while I was gone. I boarded the plane to Miami, feeling grateful, excited, happy, and completely, utterly blind to what was coming. The 2 weeks before the cruise, David was a different person, attentive, loving, present in ways he hadn't been in months. Let's go shopping for your trip, he said one Saturday morning. Make sure you have everything you need. We spent the day at the mall, David actually enjoying it. Usually, he hated shopping, would complain after 20 minutes, want to leave. But that day, he was patient, helpful, encouraging me to buy things. Get that dress. It looks great on you. It's expensive. So, you're going on a luxury cruise. You should have nice things to wear. We bought 3 new dresses, 2 pairs of shoes, a new swimsuit, sundresses, a sun hat. David paid for everything without hesitation, didn't even look at the total. Thank you for this, I said in the car on the way home. You deserve it. I want you to feel beautiful, confident. This trip should be special. That version of David, the attentive, generous one, felt like the man I married, the man I hadn't seen in a while. Maybe the cruise was good for us, I thought. Maybe the time apart would help us appreciate each other again. I had no idea. A week before I left, David sat me down. I want to go over some things, just practical stuff, in case you need anything while you're gone. Okay? He opened his laptop, showed me our bank accounts. Here's the main checking. Savings, investment accounts, everything's here. If you need to access anything, I won't need to access anything. I'll be on a ship. I know, but just in case, you have the passwords, right? I think so, somewhere. Let me write them down for you, fresh, so you have them. He wrote everything on a piece of paper. Account numbers, passwords, login information. Keep this somewhere safe. David, I'm going on a cruise, not moving to another country. He laughed. I know, I'm just being thorough. Want to make sure you have everything you need. It seemed overly cautious, but also sweet. A husband making sure his wife had access to everything. I put the paper in my purse. Didn't think about it again. 3 days before the cruise, David came home with gifts for the trip. A new phone charger, a portable battery pack, a nice camera. You didn't have to do this, I want you to take lots of pictures. Document everything. This is a once-in-a-lifetime trip. You're being so sweet. What's gotten into you? Just realizing how much I appreciate you, how much I've taken you for granted. I want to do better. He pulled me close, hugged me. I'm sorry, I've been distant. Work has been crazy, but that's no excuse. You deserve better. It's okay. No, it's not. But I'm going to fix it. Starting with this trip, you're going to have an amazing time. And when you get back, things will be different. Better, I promise. I believed him. Every word. Because why wouldn't I? This was my husband, my partner of 35 years. The night before I left, David made dinner. My favorite, salmon with roasted vegetables, wine, candlelight. A send-off dinner, he said. We talked about everything. The cruise, the islands I'd visit, what I was most excited about. I'm a little nervous, I admitted. I've never traveled alone like this. You'll be fine. You're strong, independent. You don't need me there. I always need you. He reached across the table, took my hand, and I'll be here when you get back, waiting for you, missing you. It was the most romantic evening we'd had in years. I went to bed feeling loved, connected, hopeful. I woke up early the next morning. David was already awake, had coffee ready. Big day, he said. My flight was at noon. David had taken the whole day off work. I want to drive you, see you off properly. We had breakfast together, went over my itinerary one more time, double-checked my luggage, passport, got it phone, charged and ready. Money, credit cards, some cash, I'm all set. David loaded my suitcase into the car. We drove to the airport. He stayed with me until I had to go through security. 2 weeks, I said. It feels like a long time. It'll fly by, and you'll be having so much fun you won't even think about home. I'll think about you. I'll think about you too. Every day, call me when you can. Text me pictures. I want to see everything. I will. We stood there, at the security entrance, people flowing around us, travelers with luggage, families saying goodbye. David hugged me tight. I love you, Margaret, so much. More than you know. I love you too. Have the time of your life. You deserve it. You deserve everything good. One more kiss. One more hug. Then I had to go. I went through security, turned back one last time. David was still standing there, watching me. He waved, smiled. I waved back, felt a pang. 2 weeks without him, longest we'd been apart in years, but also excited. An adventure, time to myself. Beautiful places to see. I didn't know it was the last time I'd see him in that airport. The last time he'd look at me that way. The last time I'd believe everything was okay. The flight to Miami was smooth. I checked into the cruise terminal, boarded the ship, found my cabin. David had been right. It was beautiful. Balcony overlooking the ocean. King-size bed. Everything luxurious. I unpacked, changed into comfortable clothes, went up on deck as the ship pulled away from port. Miami disappeared behind us. The ocean stretched out ahead. I felt free, unburdened, light. My phone buzzed. A text from David. Miss you already. Have an amazing time. You deserve every bit of this. Love you. I texted back. Thank you for this, for everything. Love you too. The ship had Wi-Fi, but it was expensive. I decided to mostly disconnect, be present, enjoy the experience. I'd check my phone once a day, text David, let him know I was okay. But otherwise, I'd be offline. That first night, I had dinner in the main dining room, met other solo travelers, a woman from Ohio, another from California. We exchanged stories, made plans to explore the islands together. I went to bed that night feeling happy, grateful. This was exactly what I needed. Day 2. The ship stopped at Grand Cayman. I went snorkeling, saw incredible fish, crystal clear water, took pictures to show David, tried to call him that evening. He didn't answer. Texted instead. In a meeting. Call you tomorrow. Glad you're having fun. Day 3. Cozumel, Mexico. I explored Mayan ruins, bought souvenirs, ate amazing food. Tried to call David again. No answer. Another text. Sorry. Crazy day. Phone dying. Talk soon. Love you. Day 4. Jamaica. Beautiful beaches. Friendly people. I was having the time of my life. But David's texts were getting shorter, less frequent, always an excuse for why he couldn't talk. Day 5. I started to feel uneasy. Something felt off, but I told myself I was being paranoid. He was busy, working. That's all. Day 6. Haiti. I tried calling 3 times. No answer, no text back. Now I was worried. This wasn't like him. Even when he was busy, he'd always respond eventually. I tried calling our home phone, straight to voicemail. Called Jessica. Honey, have you talked to your dad? Not this week. Why? I can't reach him. He's not answering. He's probably just swamped with work. You know how he gets. Maybe. Can you try calling him? Just to make sure he's okay. Sure, Mom. But I'm sure he's fine. Don't worry. Enjoy your cruise. Day 7. Middle of the cruise. I'd been gone a week, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. I tried David again. No answer. Left a voicemail. David, I'm getting worried. Please call me. Let me know you're okay. I love you. Nothing. Jessica texted. Can't reach Dad either. But I'm sure he's fine. Probably just working crazy hours. Probably. That's what I told myself. Probably. But probably wasn't certain, and the knot in my stomach kept getting tighter. Asterisk. Day 8. I couldn't enjoy anything anymore. Kept checking my phone. Kept trying to call David. Nothing. The ship stopped at St. Thomas. I stayed on board, didn't feel like exploring, just sat on my balcony staring at my phone. Finally, around 3 p.m., a text came through. Sorry, lost my phone for a few days. Found it. Everything's fine. Enjoy the rest of your trip. Lost his phone for a few days. That explained the silence. I felt relief wash over me. I texted back immediately. I was so worried. Are you okay? Can we talk? Can't talk right now. In the middle of something. But I'm fine. Really, don't worry, love you. It should have made me feel better. But something about the text felt off, too brief, too dismissive. I called anyway, straight to voicemail. David, please call me. I miss you. I need to hear your voice. Please. No response. That night, I couldn't sleep, kept replaying everything in my mind. The way he'd been so insistent about the cruise, the way he'd been acting before I left, the silence this past week. I told myself I was being paranoid, creating problems where there weren't any. David lost his phone. These things happen. That's all it was. But the feeling in my gut wouldn't go away. Day 9, Barbados. I forced myself to get off the ship, wandered around the island, bought a bracelet for Jessica, tried to distract myself. Called David 3 times, no answer, no text back. Called Jessica. Have you heard from your dad? He texted yesterday, said he's been super busy with work. Why? He texted you but won't answer my calls. Mom, you know how he is when he's in work mode. He probably just saw my text was quick, and yours needed a conversation he didn't have time for. That made sense, sort of, but it still felt wrong. Can you do me a favor? Can you stop by the house? Just check on him, make sure he's okay. Mom, I'm in Austin. That's a long way from Atlanta. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just worried. He's fine, I promise. He texted me. He's alive and working. That's Dad being Dad. She was right. This was David. When he got focused on work, everything else disappeared, including me. I'd spent 35 years understanding that about him, accepting it. Why was I panicking now? Day 10, Antigua. The cruise was almost over. For more days than I'd be home. I could wait for days. Except I couldn't shake the anxiety. Something was wrong. I felt it. Knew it. Deep in my bones. I tried calling our neighbor, Patricia. Maybe she'd seen David, could check on the house. No answer. Left a voicemail. Patricia, it's Margaret. I'm on a cruise and I can't reach David. Could you check on him? Make sure he's okay. Thank you. She called back an hour later. Margaret, I haven't seen David in days, maybe a week. His car's not in the driveway. House looks quiet. His car's not there. No. Maybe he's traveling for work. Maybe. He traveled all the time, but usually he told me. Usually I knew his schedule. Can you check the mailbox? See if it's full. Hold on. I heard her walking. Mailbox is empty. Looks like someone's been collecting it. Okay, that was good. He was there. Just not when Patricia was looking. That's all. Thank you, Patricia. I'm probably just being paranoid. When are you back? For more days. Flight lands Saturday afternoon. I'm sure everything's fine. Enjoy the rest of your cruise. Don't worry. But I was worrying. Couldn't stop. Day 11, St. Lucia. I stayed on the ship again. Tried calling David 6 times. Nothing. Jessica texted. Mom, you need to relax. Dad's fine. You're on vacation. Enjoy it. Something feels wrong. You're just anxious because you can't reach him. But he's busy. That's all. He'll probably call tonight with some story about crazy work stuff and you'll feel silly for worrying. I hoped she was right. That night, I stayed up until midnight, hoping for a call, a text, something. Nothing came. Day 12, Martinique. second to last stop. Tomorrow we'd start heading back to Miami. 2 days after that, I'd be home. I could make it 2 more days. Then I'd see David, get answers. Everything would make sense. I tried calling him one more time. No answer. Sent a text. I'll be home Saturday. We need to talk. I love you, but I'm worried. Please let me know you're okay. He responded an hour later. I'm fine. See you Saturday. Safe travels. That was it. No, I love you. No, I miss you. Just, see you Saturday. The relief I should have felt didn't come. Instead, the knot in my stomach tightened. Something was very, very wrong. Day 13. Last port, back in Grand Cayman. The ship would leave this evening and sail straight to Miami. I'd dock Saturday morning, be home by afternoon. Less than 48 hours. I spent the day packing, organizing, preparing to go home. My mind kept running through scenarios. David having an affair. David in trouble. David sick or hurt and not telling me. I told myself I was being dramatic, that I'd get home and everything would be fine. David would have a reasonable explanation for everything, but I didn't believe it. That night, our last night on the ship, I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, just sat on my balcony watching the ocean, feeling the ship move through the dark water. In less than 2 days, I'd know the truth. Whatever it was, I wasn't sure I was ready. Day 14. The ship docked in Miami at 7 a.m. I got off as early as I could, went through customs, got my luggage, took an Uber to the airport. My flight to Atlanta was at 2 p.m. I tried calling David, let him know I was off the ship. On my way home. No answer. Left a voicemail. I'm back in the U.S. Flight at 2. I'll be home around 5. See you soon. The flight felt endless. 3 hours. I couldn't sit still, couldn't focus, couldn't think about anything except getting home. We landed at 4:47 p.m. I grabbed my luggage, headed to the rideshare pickup. The driver made small talk. I barely responded, just stared out the window, watching familiar streets pass by. My street, my neighborhood, almost home. The driver pulled up to my house at 5:23 p.m. I paid him, got out, grabbed my suitcase, looked at my house, the house I'd lived in for 27 years, the house David and I had made into a home. Something was wrong. I could feel it before I even reached the door. The lawn was overgrown. Mail was scattered on the porch. The house looked abandoned. I unlocked the front door, pushed it open, and stepped into my worst nightmare. The house was empty, completely empty. Furniture gone, pictures gone, everything gone. I stood in the entryway, suitcase still in my hand, staring at bare walls and empty rooms. My house, my home, everything I owned, gone. And somewhere far away, my husband had exactly what he wanted. 2 weeks to erase our entire life while I was on a cruise ship. Unreachable, unaware, enjoying the gift he'd given me. I dropped my suitcase, pulled out my phone, tried calling David one more time. That number was disconnected. I tried our bank app, logged in with the password he'd so carefully written down for me 2 weeks ago. Account balance, $0. Every account, checking, savings, everything, zero. I sank to the floor in my empty living room and finally understood. The cruise wasn't a gift. It was a distraction, an alibi, a way to get me out of the house, while my husband of 35 years destroyed everything we built together. And I'd walked right into it, grateful, trusting, completely blind. I don't know how long I sat on the floor of my empty living room. Minutes, hours, time stopped meaning anything. My house, my home of 27 years, bare walls, empty rooms, echo when I breathed. Everything was gone. The furniture we'd picked out together, the pictures on the walls, Jessica's baby photos, our wedding photos, kitchen appliances, bedroom furniture, everything. Not just gone, stolen by my own husband. I finally stood up, legs shaking, walked through the house, room by room. Maybe I'd missed something. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. It was worse. Every room, completely empty. Even the curtains were gone. Just bare windows, bare floors, nothing. The kitchen, no table, no chairs, no dishes, cabinets empty, refrigerator gone. Our bedroom, no bed, no dressers. The closet where my clothes had been, empty. Everything I owned, gone. Jessica's old room, empty. The garage, empty. David's tools, his golf clubs, my gardening supplies, the Christmas decorations we'd accumulated over 35 years, all gone. He'd taken everything, or sold it. or destroyed it. I didn't know, didn't matter, it was gone. I went back to the living room, sat on the floor again, pulled out my phone with shaking hands, called Jessica. She answered on the first ring. Mom, you're back. How was the cruise? I couldn't speak, couldn't form words. Mom, you there? Jessica, my voice cracked. I need you to come home. Right now. Please. What's wrong? What happened? Your father, the house is empty. Everything's gone. He's gone. Everything's gone. Silence. Then, what do you mean everything's gone? I mean empty, completely empty. No furniture, no clothes, nothing. And the bank accounts are empty too. He took everything. That's not possible. That can't be possible. I'm sitting on the floor of our empty living room right now. It's possible. It happened. Oh my God. Mom, I'm getting on the next flight. I'll be there tonight. Don't move. Don't do anything. Just stay there. Where else would I go? I have nothing, nowhere to go. Nothing. I'm coming. I promise. Just hold on. She hung up. I sat there staring at my phone. Called the bank. Got their automated system. Checked account balances. Joint checking. $0. Joint savings. $0. Investment account. $0. Our retirement money. Gone. The savings we'd built over 5 years. Gone. Every penny. I tried to access online banking. Logged in. Saw the transaction history. 2 weeks of systematic withdrawals. Transfers. Every day I was gone. Every single day. Moving money. Closing accounts. Draining everything. The last transaction was yesterday. Friday. The day before I came home. He'd waited until the very last moment. Made sure every account was at zero before I landed. This wasn't impulsive. This was planned, calculated, executed perfectly while I was on a cruise ship taking pictures of beaches. I called the credit card company. I need to check my account. Name and last four of your social. I gave them the information. Heard typing. Double quotes. This account was closed on January 20th. Closed. By who? By the primary account holder, David Patterson. I'm a joint account holder. He can't close it without me. According to our records, you authorized the closure. I did not. We have a signature on file, dated January 20th. Your signature. He forged my signature while I was on a ship. Closed our credit cards, our accounts, everything. I want to report fraud. I'll transfer you to our fraud department. I spent 20 minutes on hold. Finally got a person. Explained everything. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but if there's a signature on file, we can't classify this as fraud. You'll need to file a police report and contact a lawyer. My husband cleaned out our accounts while I was out of the country. That's not fraud. If you're both authorized on the accounts, technically, he had the right to access the funds. I know it's not what you want to hear, but legally, I hung up. Called our internet provider. This is Margaret Patterson. I need to verify service at my address. One moment. Typing. Service at that address was disconnected on January 28, 4 days ago, while I was still on the cruise. Called the electric company. Same thing. Service disconnected January 28. Final bill sent to a forwarding address. What forwarding address? She read it off. Some apartment complex I'd never heard of. In Austin, Texas. Austin, where Claire lived, where Jessica lived, where David had been traveling for work. He'd moved to Austin with Claire and dismantled our entire life to do it. I tried calling David one more time. Same automated message. The number you have dialed is no longer in service. He'd disconnected his phone, changed his number, disappeared. 30-5 years of marriage, and he'd erased himself from my life in 2 weeks. I looked around the empty house again. This house was still mine, wasn't it? He couldn't sell the house without me. We both owned it. I pulled up the county property records on my phone, searched our address. Owner, David Patterson. Just his name, not both of us. His. When had that happened? The house was in both our names. I'd signed papers. I knew I had. I searched through my email, found the original deed from 1998. Both our names, Margaret and David Patterson. Kept scrolling, looking for anything, any record of a change. Found an email from 2019. Subject, updated property deed. Opened it, scanned the document, some legal language about refinancing, something about streamlining the deed for tax purposes, a signature line. My signature, from 2019. Signing the house over to just David's name. I didn't remember signing this, but there it was. My signature, dated, notarized. He'd been planning this for 6 years, since 2019, maybe longer. 6 years of positioning, preparing, making sure legally everything was his. And I'd signed it all, trusted him, never questioned. My phone rang. Patricia, my neighbor. Margaret, I just got home. I saw you sitting in there through the window. What happened? Where's all your furniture? David took it while I was gone. Took everything. Oh my God, I'll be right over. She came through the unlocked front door 2 minutes later, saw me sitting on the floor, saw the empty house. Margaret, she sat down next to me, put her arm around me. I'm so sorry. I should have noticed, should have seen something. There was nothing to see. He waited until I was gone, did it all while I was on a cruise. That cruise, he insisted you go on that cruise. It was a distraction, a way to get me out of the house so he could do this. She pulled out her phone. I'm calling the police. This is theft, fraud, something. He owns everything. Legally, the house is in his name. The accounts were joint. He had every legal right to take it all. That can't be true. It is. I checked. Everything was his. I signed it all over to him years ago. Didn't even realize what I was doing. Patricia looked furious. You need a lawyer. Right now. This isn't legal. It can't be. Maybe she was right. Maybe there was something illegal about what he'd done. But sitting on the floor of my empty house, I couldn't think straight enough to know. Jessica called. Mom, I'm on a flight. Lands at 10 p.m. I'll Uber straight to you. Are you okay? No, but I will be. I'll be here when you get here. Don't let anyone in. Don't sign anything. Don't talk to anyone except me and a lawyer, okay? After she hung up, Patricia helped me up. You can't stay here tonight. No furniture, no bed, nothing. Come stay with me. I don't want to impose. You're not imposing. You're my friend, and you need help. Come on. I grabbed my suitcase, the only thing I still owned, followed Patricia to her house 2 doors down. She set me up in her guest room, made me tea, sat with me while I cried. 35 years of marriage, and he'd erased himself from my life in 2 weeks. I looked around the empty house again. This house was still mine, wasn't it? He couldn't sell the house without me. We both owned it. I pulled up the county property records on my phone, searched our address. Owner, David Patterson, just his name, not both of us. His dot when had that happened. The house was in both our names. I'd signed papers. I knew I had. I searched through my email, found the original deed from 1998. Both our names, Margaret and David Patterson. Kept scrolling, looking for anything, any record of a change. Found an email from 2019. Subject, updated property deed. Opened it, scanned the document. Some legal language about refinancing, something about streamlining the deed for tax purposes, a signature line. My signature, from 2019, signing the house over to just David's name. I didn't remember signing this, but there it was, my signature, dated, notarized. He'd been planning this for 6 years, since 2019, maybe longer. 6 years of positioning, preparing, making sure legally, everything was his, and I'd signed it all, trusted him. Never questioned. My phone rang. Patricia, my neighbor. Margaret, I just got home. I saw you sitting in there through the window. What happened? Where's all your furniture? David took it while I was gone. Took everything. Oh my God, I'll be right over. She came through the unlocked front door 2 minutes later, saw me sitting on the floor, saw the empty house. Margaret, she sat down next to me, put her arm around me. I'm so sorry. I should have noticed, should have seen something. There was nothing to see. He waited until I was gone, did it all while I was on a cruise. That cruise. He insisted you go on that cruise. It was a distraction, a way to get me out of the house so he could do this. She pulled out her phone. I'm calling the police. This is theft, fraud, something. He owns everything. Legally, the house is in his name. The accounts were joint. He had every legal right to take it all. That can't be true. It is. I checked. Everything was his. I signed it all over to him years ago. Didn't even realize what I was doing. Patricia looked furious. You need a lawyer right now. This isn't legal. It can't be. Maybe she was right. Maybe there was something illegal about what he'd done. But sitting on the floor of my empty house, I couldn't think straight enough to know. Jessica called. Mom, I'm on a flight. Lands at 10 p.m. I'll Uber straight to you. Are you okay? No, but I will be. I'll be here when you get here. Don't let anyone in. Don't sign anything. Don't talk to anyone except me and a lawyer. Okay? After she hung up, Patricia helped me up. You can't stay here tonight. No furniture. No bed. Nothing. Come stay with me. I don't want to impose. You're not imposing, you're my friend, and you need help. Come on. I grabbed my suitcase, the only thing I still owned, followed Patricia to her house 2 doors down. She set me up in her guest room, made me tea, sat with me while I cried. 35 years. I kept saying, 35 years, and he threw it all away. He didn't throw it away, he stole it. There's a difference. Maybe there was, but either way, it was gone. My marriage, my home, my money, my life, all of it. Gone. Jessica arrived at 10:30, ran into Patricia's house, found me in the guest room, hugged me tight. Mom, I'm so sorry. I should have checked on him, should have known something was wrong. You couldn't have known. I didn't know. Where is he? Have you heard from him at all? No. Phone's disconnected. He's gone, moved to Austin with his girlfriend. Austin, how do you know? The utility forwarding address, and I'm guessing, but I know I'm right. Jessica's face hardened. I'm going to find him, and when I do, it doesn't matter. He's gone. It's done. It's not done. Mom, he can't do this. Legally, you're entitled to half of everything. Community property, marital assets. He can't just take it all. He did take it all. Then we'll make him give it back. I wanted to believe her, wanted to think there was a way to fix this, to undo what David had done. But sitting there, exhausted, devastated, with nothing left but a suitcase of cruise clothes, I couldn't see how my husband had destroyed me, completely, deliberately, and I'd walked right into it, grateful for the gift he was giving me. I'd never felt more stupid, more blind, more utterly, completely destroyed. I spent that night at Patricia's house, didn't sleep, just lay in the guest bed staring at the ceiling, processing everything. Jessica fell asleep around 2 a.m., exhausted from the flight and the shock, but I couldn't sleep, because I was waiting. At 6 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Double quotes, Mrs. Patterson. This is Karen Chen, your attorney. I saw the news alerts. Are you safe? I sat up, smiled for the first time in 24 hours. Yes, Karen, I'm safe. Everything went exactly as planned. Silence on the other end. Then, you knew he was going to do this. I knew. I've known for 6 months. Jessica stirred in the bed next to me. Woke up, Mom. Who are you talking to? I put the phone on speaker. Jessica, meet Karen Chen, my divorce attorney. I hired her in July. Jessica's eyes went wide. What? Karen's voice came through the speaker. Mrs. Patterson, I need you to come to my office today. We need to move fast. What your husband did, emptying accounts, selling property without your consent, that's fraud, criminal fraud, and we have everything we need to prove it. Jessica was staring at me. Mom, what is happening? I looked at my daughter. I need to tell you something I haven't told anyone, not you, not Patricia, no one. Tell me what. I took a breath. I've known about your father's affair for 6 months, since July of last year. I hired a private investigator, found out about Claire, about the apartment in Austin, about everything. You knew. Jessica's voice was barely a whisper. I knew, and I've been documenting everything, every account, every asset, every lie, every transaction, working with Karen to build a case. Then why did you go on the cruise? Why did you let him do this? Because I needed him to commit fraud, needed him to cross the line from having an affair to actually stealing marital asset. The affair alone, that's just grounds for divorce in Georgia. But what he did while I was gone, that's criminal. Karen's voice came through the phone. Your husband forged your signature on multiple documents, transferred marital assets without your knowledge, sold community property. Every single thing he did in the past 2 weeks is prosecutable. Jessica was still processing. So you knew he was going to empty the house, take everything. I knew he was planning something. The cruise was his idea, but I knew why he wanted me gone. So I went, let him think I was clueless, let him execute his plan. But Mom, you have nothing. He took everything. I smiled, really smiled. No, he didn't. He took what he thought was everything. But I've been preparing for 6 months. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app. A different bank, one David knew nothing about, showed Jessica the screen. Her mouth fell open. Mom, that's half of everything we own. I've been systematically moving money for 6 months. Every time David transferred money, I transferred an equal amount to accounts he didn't know about. Every asset he thought he was hiding, I documented and matched. Karen spoke up. Margaret has been incredibly strategic. She documented every account, every asset, every transaction. When David started moving money around in preparation for leaving, she mirrored everything he did. He thought he was stealing from her. He was actually splitting the assets 50-50 without realizing it. Jessica looked stunned. How did you even know how to do this? I've been married to your father for 35 years. I know how he thinks, how he operates. When I hired the private investigator in July and found out about Claire, I knew he'd eventually try to leave. And I knew he'd try to take everything. So you beat him to it. I matched him. Every account he emptied, I'd already taken half from. Every asset he thought he was hiding, I'd already secured my portion of. The house, yes, it's in his name, but I have documentation showing I contributed to it. Karen has proof of marital contributions going back 27 years. Karen's voice was firm. Margaret's case is airtight. Not only did David commit fraud by forging signatures and hiding assets, but Margaret can prove she contributed to every major asset acquired during the marriage: house, cars, retirement accounts, everything. Jessica was shaking her head in disbelief. Mom, when did you become this person? When I realized I married someone who would destroy me without hesitation if it benefited him. I had 6 months to prepare. So I did. But you seemed so shocked yesterday, so devastated. I was shocked, devastated that my husband of 35 years actually went through with it, that he was really that person. But I wasn't surprised. There's a difference. Patricia knocked on the guest room door, came in. I heard voices. Everything okay? Patricia, I said. I need to tell you something too. She sat on the bed. I explained everything, the investigation, the attorney, the preparation. Patricia's eyes got wider with every sentence. You've known for 6 months, and you didn't tell anyone. I couldn't. If David suspected I knew, he'd change his plans. I needed him to go through with it, needed him to commit fraud. So, I acted clueless. Went on the cruise, let him think he was getting away with it. The cruise, that whole time, you knew. I knew. I was actually grateful he sent me away, made it easier. While he was emptying the house and the accounts, I was documenting everything remotely. Karen had someone watching the house, recording everything, every moving truck, every transaction. We have it all. Jessica was still processing. So what happens now? Karen answered. Now we file criminal charges, fraud, forgery, theft of marital property, and we file for divorce with a full accounting of all assets. Margaret will get half of everything, including what David thinks he stole, plus damages, plus legal fees. What about the house? Patricia asked. The house is more complicated, Karen admitted. It's in David's name, but we have a strong argument for Margaret's contributions. 27 years of maintaining the property. We'll fight for her share. And if we lose the house, I asked, you have enough in your secured accounts to buy something else. Something in your name only. David thought he was leaving you with nothing. Reality is, you'll come out of this financially secure. Jessica looked at me with something like awe. Mom, I can't believe you did this. All of this, by yourself, not by myself. I had Karen, and the private investigator, and a plan, but you didn't tell me. Or Michael. You went through this alone. I had too. If I told you, you might have accidentally tipped him off, said something, done something. I needed complete control over the information, so I kept it to myself. Patricia shook her head. Margaret, you're amazing. I thought you were destroyed, devastated. I am devastated. That my marriage ended like this. That the man I loved for 35 years turned out to be someone who could do this. But I'm not destroyed. I'm prepared. Karen's voice came through the phone again. Margaret, I need you in my office at 9 a.m. We're filing papers today. Criminal charges and divorce petition. By this afternoon, your husband is going to realize he didn't get away with anything. He's in Austin. With Claire, I know. I've had someone tracking him. He's at an apartment complex off Highway 183. We know exactly where he is. And in about 6 hours, he's going to get served with papers that will destroy his entire plan. I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Power, control, justice. I'll be there at 9. After I hung up, Jessica hugged me. I'm proud of you, Mom, and also a little terrified of you. I laughed, actually laughed. Don't be terrified, be smart. This is what I should have taught you all along. Don't trust blindly. Protect yourself. Always have a plan. When did you become this person? When I realized I had to. When I understood that love doesn't protect you. Only preparation does. Patricia was still shaking her head. So, all yesterday, you sitting on the floor crying, that was all an act. Not all of it. I was genuinely upset, genuinely shocked that he really did it. But was I unprepared? No. Did he leave me with nothing? No. He just thinks he did. What happens when he finds out? He's going to be very, very angry. And very, very scared. Because what he did is criminal. And I have proof of everything. Jessica asked the question I'd been waiting for. Mom, did you go on that cruise knowing all of this? Knowing what he was going to do? Yes. And you still went? I had to. It was the final piece. I needed him to commit the crime. Needed him to think I was completely unaware. So I got on that ship, took pictures, enjoyed the islands, and let him hang himself. That's cold, Mom. That's survival. Honey, your father tried to destroy me. Instead, he destroyed himself. And he has no idea yet. At 9 a.m., I walked into Karen's office. She had papers ready. Criminal complaint, divorce petition, asset disclosure, showing every account, every asset, every dollar. Sign here, and here, and here. I signed. 35 years of marriage. Over. But on my terms, not his. The sheriff will serve him today, probably around noon. He'll be arrested for fraud. And he'll realize that the woman he thought he destroyed was actually 3 steps ahead of him the entire time. I smiled. Good. Because David thought he'd won. Thought he'd outsmarted me. Thought he'd gotten away with it. He had no idea that while he was emptying our house, I was building a case. While he was stealing our money, I was securing my own. While he thought he was destroying me, I was preparing to destroy him right back. My husband sent me away on a cruise. The shocking truth destroyed me. But what he didn't know was that I'd been ready for that truth for 6 months. And now it was his turn to be destroyed. David was arrested at 2 p.m. that same day. Karen called to tell me. Sheriff served him at the apartment. He tried to refuse service. They arrested him on the spot. Fraud, forgery, theft of marital assets. He's being extradited back to Georgia. How did he react? According to the officer, he kept saying this is impossible. She doesn't know anything. He genuinely thought you were clueless. Good, Margaret. He's going to call you. From jail. Don't answer. Don't engage. Let him sit with this. She was right. An hour later, my phone rang. Fulton County Jail. I didn't answer. He called 6 more times that evening. I blocked the number. Jessica stayed with me. We went back to my house that afternoon with Karen. Legally, you still have rights to this property, Karen explained. Even though it's in his name, you can stay here while we sort out the divorce. He can't evict you. I don't want to stay in an empty house. Then we'll get your furniture back. Or get new furniture. But don't let him push you out of your own home. Over the next week, things moved fast. Karen filed motions. Froze David's accounts. The ones he thought were hidden. Recovered assets. Subpoenaed records. He had 3 accounts in Austin. Thought you didn't know about them. We froze all 3. About $400,000 total. How much did I already secure? You have about $500,000 in your accounts, plus your retirement fund he didn't touch because he couldn't without your signature. Another $300,000 total. You're sitting at about $800,000. He has $400,000 frozen. The house is worth about $600,000. Cars, other assets, maybe another $100,000. I did the math. So, about $1.9 million total. Yes. And Georgia is an equitable distribution state. You're entitled to at least half, probably more, given his fraud. David made bail after 3 days. His sister posted it. He called immediately. This time, I answered. Margaret, don't talk. Listen. You tried to destroy me. You failed. Everything you did was documented. Every account you emptied, I'd already taken half. Every asset you hid, I knew about. You're going to prison, David, and you're going to give me everything I'm owed. You can't do this. We can talk. We're done talking. Talk to your lawyer. Talk to the judge. Don't call me again. I hung up, blocked his new number. He tried reaching out through Jessica. She told him to stop. Claire left him 2 days after he was arrested, moved out of the Austin apartment, disappeared. Turns out, she wasn't interested in a man facing prison time and financial ruin. The criminal trial was set for 6 months out. The divorce proceedings moved faster. David's lawyer tried to negotiate, wanted to settle quietly. Karen laughed. Your client committed fraud, forged signatures. We have evidence. We're not settling. We're taking this to court, and we're winning everything. In the end, David agreed to a settlement. 60% of marital assets to me. The house sold. I got my share plus damages. He pled guilty to fraud charges. Got 18 months. Suspended to probation and restitution. By the time everything finalized, I had over $1.2 million, a fresh start. And my husband had a criminal record and nothing. 6 months after David was arrested, I bought a condo in Midtown Atlanta, 2 bedrooms, city views, completely mine. I furnished it slowly, carefully. Every piece I chose myself. Every color, every detail. This wasn't a home I shared with someone who'd tried to destroy me. This was mine. Jessica helped me move in. It's beautiful, Mom. Really beautiful. It feels like me. Finally, I still can't believe you planned all of that. 6 months of pretending. Going on that cruise, knowing what he was doing. I did what I had to do. If I'd confronted him, he would have changed tactics, hidden things better. I needed him to think I was clueless. It was brilliant, terrifying, but brilliant. I started traveling again. Real traveling. Not cruise ships David sent me on to get me out of the way, but trips I chose. Places I wanted to see. I went to Ireland with Patricia, Scotland, Iceland, places I'd always dreamed of visiting. You seem different, Patricia said one night in Edinburgh. Lighter. I am lighter. 35 years of carrying someone else's secrets, someone else's lies. I'm done carrying anything that isn't mine. I took classes, learned photography, started writing, things I'd always wanted to do but never had time for when I was managing David's life. David tried contacting me a few times, through lawyers, through Jessica, asking to talk, to explain. I never responded. There was nothing to explain. He'd shown me exactly who he was. I didn't need to hear excuses. Claire had moved on to another man, another wealthy target. I heard through mutual friends. Didn't care. She'd done me a favor, really, shown me who David truly was before I wasted more years. Jessica visited often. We were closer now. You taught me something important, Mom. Never trust blindly. Always protect yourself. I wish I'd learned it sooner, but you learned it. That's what matters. A year after the divorce, I was 66, living in my condo, traveling, creating, free. One day, I ran into one of David's old colleagues at a coffee shop, Tom. He looked uncomfortable when he saw me. Double quotes Margaret. Hi, how are you? I'm excellent, Tom. You? Good, good. I heard about ... everything. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm not. He seemed surprised. You're not. David did me a favor, showed me I didn't need him. Didn't need anyone. I'm happier now than I've been in decades. That's great, really. As he walked away, I realized it was true. I was happy, genuinely, deeply happy. For the first time in my adult life, I was living for myself, not for a husband, not for anyone else, just me. And it was the best feeling in the world. I'm 66 years old now. It's been 18 months since my husband sent me away on a cruise and tried to destroy my life. People ask me sometimes how I knew, how I suspected, how I planned everything so perfectly. The truth is, I almost didn't. I almost believed him, almost trusted blindly like I had for 35 years. But something in me, some survival instinct, made me pay attention, made me notice the small changes, the way he pushed too hard for that cruise, the way he was suddenly so generous after years of being ordinary. When you've been married to someone for 3.5 decades, you know when something's off. You feel it. The question is whether you listen to that feeling or ignore it. I almost ignored it, but I'm so glad I didn't. The private investigator I hired in July found everything in 2 weeks. The affair, the apartment in Austin, the financial planning David had been doing, the accounts he'd been hiding. I could have confronted him then, could have filed for divorce, could have fought publicly. Instead, I planned, I documented, I protected myself, and when David executed his plan, I was ready. My life now is nothing like it was. I wake up every morning in my condo one, decide what I want to do. No one to answer to, no one to manage, no one to pretend for. I'm traveling to New Zealand next month. 3 weeks solo because I can, because I want to, because my life is mine. Jessica and I talk every week. She's proud of me. Said, I taught her the most important lesson. Trust yourself. Protect yourself. Don't let love make you blind. David is living in a small apartment in Austin, working to pay restitution. His business collapsed after the criminal charges. his reputation destroyed. He lost everything trying to steal from me, and I lost nothing because I was prepared. If you're watching this and something feels off in your relationship, if your partner is suddenly too generous, too insistent, too controlling, trust that feeling. Don't ignore it. Don't explain it away. Protect yourself. Document everything. Have a plan. Because love doesn't protect you. Only preparation does. I want to know where you're watching from. Drop your city in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, please subscribe. We share stories like mine every day. Real women, real survival, real strength. My husband sent me away on a cruise. The shocking truth destroyed me. But what he didn't know was that I'd been preparing for 6 months. And while he was destroying our life, I was securing my future. He thought he was 3 steps ahead. He was actually 3 steps behind. My name is Margaret. I'm 66 years old. My husband tried to destroy me. Instead, I destroyed him back. And now I'm living the life I should have lived all along. Free, strong, mine. Trust yourself, protect yourself, and never, ever let anyone make you feel powerless, because you're not.